Hello, everybody, and welcome to my channel. Um, Here we go again. I mean, I in my one of my past videos, I think I put in the comments or the description that there's just going to be a lot more going on based on what I said in that video. Um, so, the talk of the town, what everyone's talking about. So, I'm just gonna tell a little story. I'm exhausted. I really didn't have too much sleep last night, and there's some things that are just meant to be in a certain way. At least for me, it happens in that way. A long time ago, 2005 or 2006, my grandfather passed away, and he was a great man. He didn't really talk too much. I think he was part of that silent era where just people didn't quite communicate too well. They didn't dialogue in that way. And I mean, if you're born in the 1920s, you saw the world wars. You know, you just got off World War I. You're born, then you get to see the World War II. You see the Spanish flu. You see all this. So thinking back now that I'm older about him, why was he like that? It's I understand because I'm a student of history. I love history, and anything that I can consume about history, it's important to me. Okay. Um, so he's where am I going with this? So when he passed away, he a few months later, there was two kids walking down the street, and they said that they saw him after he died in his rocking chair still, and they relayed that information to my dad or my uncle or something, and he's like, well, he's already dead, so they must have seen a ghost or something. If you go in that house, sometimes you walk in the house, my grandparents' house, and it just smells like roses. Just out of nowhere, you smell like you're walking through a bouquet of roses. It's crazy, and I've had that experience twice, once already. Um, and then the next thing is it was we went to the hospital just a few years later, and there was a friend of my then girlfriend that was, I think they were just in their hospital bed dying. And then we walked in that room, and and let me just put a little parenthesis here. I've made a lot of videos, and I'm making more and I'm not expecting you to watch them all, but I'm going to be very redundant. I'm going to paraphrase a lot of the things I said before because it's become relevant. At one point, not long ago, I wanted to stop making videos, and I did. And it was just because I felt like I was just saying the same things over and over again. And I was hoping that you could catch up with what I have there, but I think I saw somewhere around like 200 videos. Now I don't expect you to watch all the videos. But intuitively, I'll pick up on that, and then I'll just relay what needs to be relayed as of now. But there's and I'm gonna go back to why I didn't have a good night's sleep. So he was in his hospital bed, and then in the corner, I see a shadowy figure, right? It was a silhouette in all black, and there's a guy that had a brim hat. Guy had a brim hat. So and then he was just there, and I saw it. My ex-girlfriend then didn't see it. She didn't see that ghost there. And as I left that building and we went home, as we were driving home, I told her, I said, look, there was this thing in the corner. There's a guy with a hat in the corner. And then a few weeks later, she told me that nobody told her. My ex-girlfriend didn't hear the story from me again. She heard the same story I told her from someone that they trusted back then. They said that they saw something there too. The person that was dying in bed saw the person in the brim hat the way I saw the person in the brim hat too. It was just waiting for her to die to take her over to the other side. It was one of her family members. Now, while my ex-girlfriend was shivering in fear and, all goosebumps because she couldn't believe what I said was accurate, it was just one of those things that's happened to me before in the past. My mom had a job once where she came home late, and we used to get home after school through 2, 3 o'clock, 3:30 or something, and she'd get home a couple of hours later. And we just tear that house up. We leave cabinet doors open. We've drink out of cups, put that one in the sink, grab another clean cup, put that one in the sink, and there's like 6 glasses in this, and you just drank water 6 times. You just could have used 1 glass. It was just the kid stuff. But I remember that like an hour or 45 minutes before she got home, I had this feeling and said, oh, she's coming. I know she's coming home. And I always just like within, in my head, I think, damn, I was right. She did come. Obviously she was going to come from work. But I knew that she was coming soon, right? There's not going to be a delay or she'd have to stay an extra hour working or something. Like, I knew she was coming. So I cleaned up as much as I could knowingly, following my instincts. And then, lo and behold, she'd show up, right? And it was just something that was always, it's a gift that's always available to me. And it's something that you have to share with the world. So the reason why I'm sleepy is because in the past few nights I've had these conversations. There's been some people that are having a conversation with my higher self at night while I fall asleep. I told them not to do that, but they keep doing it. So this guy, we're in a room. I know the room. It looks like it's an old building. The room, it's an open, large conference room or a cafeteria or just a place to have meetings where you could fit 10 people, 15 people. And there's a window, and that window's it's the window that would lead you. It's the window that sticks out where you just see the ground floor from the outside, right? You'd see it's a basement, so that very top window would have you look out, and then you'd see like you'd see right over the foundation of the house. It's not even that high. It's a tall building. It's definitely not a home, but it's a building. And then there was 4 or 5 people that just started having conversations with my higher self some nights. So I don't know why they do that. I don't know why. But there is one individual in that group that has been just talking to me. And he kept me up all night last night talking to me. And he kept me up all night last night. He kept me up for a few hours talking and talking and talking and talking. And he says that I open up. Me or my higher self, I don't think it makes a difference as much. This is just the avatar that puts you in the matrix so you can live in the physical world. Like, this is what this is, right? So there's then he said, you keep saying these 2 things over and over again when I talk to you. You keep saying, I know one of the things I remember. I'm trying to get this out of the way so I can go about my day. This isn't the funnest part of my day, putting out these videos, but I have to. So he said that my higher self told him, right? Because that's another thing. You talk to my higher self, then you talk to Francis, and Francis doesn't know what the hell what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I might remember it like a week or 2 after, thinking, yeah, you were talking to my higher self, and we did have this conversation. That was weeks ago. So they come out at me the next day and they think like I know everything. They think I know the whole conversation we had last night. I don't know. So they still act like as if they do. So there's this weird shit going on with these guys. But so this guy came. He said, "You just keep saying these two phrases when I have a conversation with you." He said, "You want to make sure that when the music stops, you have a chair to sit on." And the other thing that caught his eye was that you want to make sure that that's one of the things that I see. I don't remember the other one. I only know that this one. This is the one that I remember the most. So he said that he believes that the leaker it works at Quantico. He said the leaker, he's one of ours. He's one of ours, the leaker. He works at Quantico, is what he said. So he just confirmed that for me, and for you too. And what else he said? Oh, so and I now realize why I'm saying this. And it's better if I don't get the gist of what he's saying, but all he kept saying is tell him this, tell him this, tell him this. He wants to validate his authenticity by me saying things that he told me that I probably should never know about. But still though, I'm the conduit that brings out this this information to you so that you can concur and confirm with him what that he's saying is true. For them to do these kind of operations that they did in the last few days, it takes them 10 months, and they planned for 6 months. They planned the operation for a good 6 months, and then they usually execute the operation in 3 or 4 months of what just happened, the stuff that's in the news. That's what he told me. He's just kept yapping and talking and talking and talking, and he just kept saying things and talking to me, and he demanded that I make this video for him so that you know that this senior Quantico official wants to leave the faucet open, right? And that's what he's committed to doing right now. Because when the whole shit show ends, he wants to make sure that he's protected at the very end, and that he was always cooperating from the beginning. So now this senior guy is like I said, my last videos are gonna cause this cascade of stuff that's going on, but I have a duty to do this work because I have a gift, and that needs to be shared with whoever watches this video. I don't really think a lot of people watch this video anyway. So he said so much more, and I just want to put it in one video and just put this behind me. But he believes that the leaker also is he's a plant. He's a Quantico plant, the leaker. That's all he said. And then he asked me, he said, is this enough for me to get away without having to feel is me telling you that enough for you to like spare me, right? Is that enough for you to spare me? And I said, I'm not the person that makes that decision. I'm just sending a message because you asked me to. You kept me up all fucking night talking to me and talking to me and talking to me. All right? Hold on. And his way of proving the authenticity is walking me through the process of how they do an operation, like the one they did a few days ago, which has nothing to do with me knowing anything. He's telling me to tell you to know that he's real. Like, this guy's legit. Like, he's not. It's not me reading into the future events, because that's not something that's like, stuff that's kept in-house. You know what I mean? In-house stuff. He's gonna start talking about in-house stuff. He said, we had a conversation. The next thing that he said is that when they get all the fucking cell phone data and all the, I'm sorry for cussing so much. I'm just tired. But when they get all the data from the cell phones and the cameras and everything, how did he say this? They're going to switch the file, and this is deliberately done. And I must have spent 5 minutes talking to him, trying to clarify exactly what he meant. So he's holding on to something that's dear to his heart. It's operational stuff that goes on the inside, and he's just almost not willing to say to me what's going on. So he said something. It's just, for me, it didn't make sense. But like I said, I don't want this to make sense to me. I'm just gonna tell you what he said to me. He said, and obviously, it's courteous just to verbatim tell you. He said they're going to switch the files. File 43 and file 47 is going to be flipped. So they're going to flip the files. And I didn't ask any more questions about that. But wouldn't somebody just flip it back? Or wouldn't somebody just do something to, but I'm just saying, like, turn it against what I'm saying or something? I don't care. He said, look, they're going to take file 43 and file 47 and they're going to flip those files around. All right? And then I said 47, and he's like, yeah, 47? Is that coincidental? And he said, no, that's deliberately done that way. So there's something in one file goes over the other. If you get a sheet of 10 papers and page 6 is the last page and page 10 is in this place where page 6 is supposed to be, then it doesn't make sense, right? You'd have to know where it goes. So there's going to be a switcheroo, and some files are going to look weird. So I guess shuffle it so that it's in order, because they're all going to be there. It's just they're going to be shuffled in a way that they don't make sense. It doesn't add up, right? It's like, all right, but when you shuffle it and make it right, then it all makes sense to you. And this is what he told me, this senior Quantico guy, last night, like at 2 a.m, look. And here I am, appeasing his request to say, hey, can I get off scot-free? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't make that decision, dog. I don't know. But I mean, just keep talking, but I don't know. So, yep. Yeah, this is a tough one. Again, we don't have all the time to get myself in a situation here where I gotta go freaking do this. But I'm just as pissed as he is about all this, because that wasn't necessary. If you just want to talk to me, just talk to me. If you're talking to my higher self, and then all of a sudden you figure out that you probably should have been, having this kind of conversation and getting it out through me, then yeah, that's fine. But you're not gonna get in any kind of trouble. No, I'm a face. You're just a voice with stuff that you told me that only some people should know, and I'm just relaying for you. Because I don't know anything about what's going on, all right? So he's just gonna do whatever he's gonna do, So this is all in light of fact of what happened recently, and then he just started talking about the internal operational of how they do these things, and how they're going to tie in put the files or whatever he said to make it look one way or the other. So there's that, and I can't think of anything else except he's a grown man, right? And he doesn't need to beg me to save him, but I don't make this decision to see who gets to who gets to who gets to who starts cooperating, and how much of cooperation you need to make sure that all the shit you've done in the past gets shoved under the rug and you get a clean slate. You know, he said, do you think that if I show myself and they know who I am, that they won't put me in a firing squad? I like, you know, I like you. You're a brave man, right? That's bravery. It is, but there's also just the people that are pissed about what's going on, that and how they think about how they should address this for you. Yeah, of course, you know, go fucking live in Guam or something, you know, get out of here. Yeah, sure, absolutely, get out, go. But this is just above my pay grade. You know what I mean? I don't. I'm being honest with you. I'm not jokingly saying this. But then again, what more can you say that will appease the other party about the actions that are going, or future actions that are going to happen? That's all up to you. Okay? I'm just your microphone. I'm just your voice. And that's it. And I mean, yeah, I guess we could be friendly. I wouldn't necessarily call you a friend, but we could be friendly, and that's never a bad thing. So I'm gonna make this video. It doesn't matter if it's short or long, because someone's definitely gonna watch it. But I leave you with that. I'm glad I got this off my back. It's not something I ever wanted to make, but you put me in a situation where I have to relay information for you, and you trust me enough that you know I do it, and I did it, and I've done it. So, all right, guys. Not my best video. Don't judge me on this one. It's a circumstantial thing that's ongoing. Thank you for watching.